We should
God,
put more thought into this.
I know.
Happy New Year! Oh my God, it's
Woo!
2023.
And
Isn't
I'm
that
in
exciting?
and I'm in a meeting room where the lighting looks. This is probably the ugliest fluorescent lighting you can get to date.
It's corporate. It's corporate.
So, but I wonder when you step in office, all the different styles of like lighting you can choose to buy, or
Yeah.
you know, I think of it from like a GTA perspective on GTA Online when you customize your apartment, and then you can choose the different like packages. But yeah, I don't know, but Isaac, this is our first episode in the new year of
It
2023.
it is. It got a little delayed. But I'm happy to be here. And yeah. Oh, actually, hold on one second. Probably gonna make me sound better
Oh, whoa.
because I just realized I have earbuds that have a microphone.
Yeah.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep. I can
Is
hear
it
you.
better?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, cool. Sorry,
Um,
I don't have my mic on me, so.
no, it's all good. But I love how we even I don't know, yeah, we kept putting off the recording and then I completely forgot about it until um when we were sitting down watching the Seahawks game today. And then
Mhm.
Leah was like, "Oh, wait, are you guys gonna record that?" I was like, "Oh shit. I completely um forgot about that."
Happens.
So
Happens.
yeah. But Isaac, if you were to describe 2022 with one word, what would it be?
Pretty bad. I know that's two words, but I think that fits. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? How about you?
I don't
Hope
know.
it was better.
I don't know why I did the one word thing because I literally can't fucking describe it. It was like I think there were 2/3 of this year that are pretty good, and then like
Yeah.
um mainly the summer that was kind of shitty.
The summer. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry.
Only I don't know. That's only because like there's a lot of events going on
Yeah.
in the summer, and
Hmm.
uh and then I was just stressing because I just couldn't get a job. So like you're just kind of anxious about that the whole time.
Yeah, of course.
Um, and then just with like the heat wave, every summer now, I don't look forward to summers now. It's kind
Oh,
of scary. But
sorry.
I was so excited for winter over the summer. I was like, oh my gosh, it'll finally be cool again.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't Isaac, why was your year pretty bad?
Uh, no, maybe pretty bad was extreme. Um, for me, the summer was the best part, just because that's I was working like probably like 20 hours a week, so part time, wasn't invasive on my schedule, and I was only 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Um, so I just had a lot of time I got to go out enjoy the heat wave, you know,
Yeah.
um, and do all that. Although my place doesn't have air conditioning, so
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult. But we have many windows, so you know. But I don't know, I just think it's not that it was necessarily bad. I just think it could have been a lot better.
Hmm.
And obviously, there's stuff I did wrong, right? But it's just like also just in general, it's just I feel like it could have been better. That being said, honestly, I'd like to amend that. It was all right. I would say it was net positive, a little bit
Yeah.
net positive. I think I just had really high expectations that I clearly didn't get to. But that's just me. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, even I still had a lot of good times in the summer, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I feel like I had a good time. The spring was pretty good. Um, but fixing that. But
Yeah.
no, yeah. So, anyways, though, this podcast is basically we're changing it up a little bit. This time, it's not just about one movie, and no, it's not just about like a trilogy. All right, we're not doing the long-awaited Bionicles trilogy. All right, so calm down. I'm sorry. Maybe
Maybe
next
one day.
time. Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Instead, we're just gonna be kind of recapping our favorite things of 2022. Um, I approached Isaac with a pitch of it, which with a much simpler pitch, but it seems that Isaac has gone even further with it. So my original pitch was it was your top three movies, top three video games, and top three songs. Um, but I kind of just have it down. But it seems Isaac's a bit more prepared for it. And if I'm not mistaken, Isaac, I think you have a little recap on Burundi, if I can tell.
I don't. No, I don't.
What? Why did you not have a slide that said Burundi?
Oh, I did. Yeah, no, that was, I'll explain it. I don't have a recap on Burundi. I
Okay,
can give
fair.
you a
No, no, no,
recap
no,
on
no, no,
Burundi.
no. I was gonna say like, what do you think? I mean, I feel like we have to mention Burundi. I was too
Of
lazy to go
course,
back
it's
and
like our thing. Yeah.
yeah, but like in terms of what do you think was some more like relevant or not relevant, but most impactful headlines we read this year about the
Opening their
country?
borders with Rwanda and a few of
Yeah.
their other neighbors was really big because that's just the central block kind of, they're just it it's trade's going to be a lot easier. Generally speaking, like a big economic thing is just like trade is good. It can't be bad. Um, so that's pretty big. I think that's probably going to be the biggest one. I also think that, I mean, yeah, that's the biggest one. I think that obviously they're meeting in the States a few weeks ago, which they never responded to my email about getting in, fortunately.
Hmm.
I think that was pretty cool, but I think that's more so symbolic because, I mean, let's be honest, all those meetings are cool, but they could be done over a Zoom meeting.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's no reason they have to spend like hundreds and thousands of dollars in transit, security detail, rent, all that stuff. Like, they don't need to, but it's cool. But yeah, so yeah, sorry. Long story short, I would say that the opening of the borders probably the biggest one.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was gonna go with a similar route, but in terms of like them was it lifting the sanctions or not? Are they were lifting? Was it like it was just restrictions on like the exchange rate, right? They were like
Yeah,
allowing foreign currency back into the economy of the country. I don't know. That's a very
yep,
hazy, might be incorrect memory, but I think yeah, it goes to the same way with this just trend of Rwanda kind of not Rwanda, Burundi opening itself up back up, um, with at least their neighbors. I think with like Rwanda, I think that's a really it's I think it's kind of cool that the moment that as we've began to cover Burundi, they've taken a really big shift, and yeah, in terms of just opening up to Rwanda, um, and stuff like that. Because like it seems like back since like 2015, there was a lot of damage, um, with Burundi and its trust with its neighbors and having to keep um to itself.
yeah,
So I don't know how like we clearly don't have any uh we haven't like heard from any actual like normal citizen of Burundi on any of these issues really. So I'm interested to know what they even think about it or
yeah.
how it actually impacts them beyond the headlines. I don't know how we would get that information besides literally just fucking going there and having like a translator.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
We can try though. We
yeah.
can definitely try.
And I think another headline that goes with the same trend we've been talking about, Burundi opening up was bringing was they brought back that Rwandan pop singer or whatever for tax evasion because he went to Burundi or something like that, right?
Yep.
So I think that's more kind of like a funny headline just to signify, at least a changing relationship between those two countries.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But and yeah, especially with that like that African Leaders Summit, because a lot of those countries were like East Africa, right? It was
Hmm.
the so um yeah, I think it's really just cool to see how that'll turn out. And then like with Burundi, just that guy from Burundi winning the head chair of the East African uh it was the EALA, right? Was that
I
it?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like him, and they hadn't won
Yeah.
that seat in forever. So there's definitely some changing tides going on there.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I'm proud of ourselves, Isaac, for sticking, for what maybe was a bit, but is now. Um,
Yeah, it started as a bit, but now like we're actually into it. So
yeah.
yeah,
So maybe I'll incorporate my Burundi knowledge with a potential college project. you
Yeah,
know.
there you go. That's all you need, right? You
Yeah.
never know. Maybe you're gonna be working there in 10 years.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I will be. Maybe Burundi. We will be living in Burundi. Every country will be Burundi. Now that's a
Maybe.
joke, but
Well, we
we're
don't
trying to
know.
keep
I
this
mean,
serious.
shit, maybe.
Actually, yeah, the
Nothing's
way the
impossible.
world's going. Um,
Nuclear war would
yeah,
not hit them, so then they'd be in a position where they can expand. Although it would be hard for them to expand because they're in the middle, they're in the central block, so they're surrounded by countries. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
But that's why. Why do you think Isaac and I have been talking about Burundi so much? We're trying to gain citizenship before everyone else dies here in America, so we can get
Exactly.
access.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Isaac, I'm gonna let you kind of take charge in what we're gonna be talking about. Because it seems like you did a little more homework. So
Okay.
go
Yeah.
for it.
So, I took what you said pretty directly. Let me share my screen. Um, uh, I mean, like generally speaking, it's just, you know, top three movies, top three TV shows. I mean, not what am I saying? Top three movies, top three games, and then top three m music. Um,
I
and
forgot
yes,
about books and TV shows too. My bad. But I
sorry. Yeah, so sorry. Just to clarify, this is the reason why you saw that is because this is the same template I used in my history presentation on Burundi.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to point that out. I just like it. I think it's cute.
I like
Um,
it. It's a
yeah.
nice
So let's get
transition.
into it. There are a few like little discrepancies based off of, the template, but just I'll explain it. But
Yeah.
first, we're gonna do something I've been looking forward to all week. And this doesn't include this week, obviously, because I don't think the stats have been finalized. But let's talk about oh, I get yeah. So, I think that I wanted to shit, I'm sorry, I just remembered I added this. Um yeah, so I made a list of the quarterbacks and their attractiveness. Obviously I think Jimmy
Ranking
G and
them.
Jalen Hurts, yes, ranking
Sorry,
them.
I'm just, in
Um
case anyone's just listening. Just I would want to make it
Good point.
as
Sorry.
descriptive
That's a
as
great point. No,
possible.
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I went on Tier Maker, and I ranked quarterbacks based off of their looks, objectively speaking. I separated it
Objectively.
in I
Objectively speaking,
separated
they're
them
ranked
into
by the list.
seven categories. The categories going from the best to the worst are as a straight man, I would hit GQ, above average, average, below average, probably didn't have a date to senior prom, and then I'm not going to say it. Obviously, I think leading the way, I don't think anyone can really argue too much. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo and Jalen Hurts are probably the two best. I think Jimmy G's beating Jalen a little bit, but I think those are the two best guys in the league right now.
By far.
Um, and then the next category, and
I will
also like
say, oh, sorry, really quick,
no,
just
go
to
for it.
cut
Yeah,
in with the, just add some commentary to this. Because especially Jimmy G, it's insane, like how, because like he's not that good of a quarterback, right? I think he's
he's all
solid.
right.
He's a good to solid game manager, but there are so many people I know that don't pay attention to football, but they know Jimmy G. And he's not
Exactly.
like Tom Brady. Like most people know Tom Brady, right? It's like
Yeah.
all time great, whatever. I mean, but like so many people know Jimmy G is. So I think that speaks volumes just to how he's been the most attractive man in the NFL now, or quarterback, we'll
For a
say,
long time.
for
For a
since
long
I
time.
was in high school. So all right,
Yeah.
continue, please.
Of course. And also I would like to mention like they're only ranked on category. Like, just because Jared Goff is on the left of Kirk Cousins doesn't mean either one is better. I just separated them into categories just to clarify.
Okay.
Um, so so Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll just go down the list if that's all right. So as a straight man, I would hit Jimmy Garoppolo and Jalen Hurts, the two best looking guys in the league. I don't think many people would argue with those. Um, and then for the GQ worthy category, I would put Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, and a few of these guys have been in GQ. Um,
Mhm.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, pre-divorce Tom Brady, Matt Corral, Justin Herbert, and Malik Willis. And then after that we get, and this is just based off face value. Um, so I don't. Some of these have like prior restrictions, like obviously pre-divorce Tom Brady, because it was not easy on him.
Yeah.
Then I think above average is Trey Lance, No beard, Daniel Jones. I think with a beard, he might be on the edge of GQ territory. I don't think so though. Patrick Mahomes, mainly just when he's in an interview because I can't stand his voice. Uh, I feel like Justin Fields could be in the GQ category, but he's just a little young, I think.
Yeah,
That's just
let's
me though.
keep him in the above average. I like that tier for
Yeah.
now.
I think Baker Mayfield could be there. To be fair, I think he should be in the average category.
Yep.
Uh, but he's got a good beard. Dak Prescott, another guy who could be in the GQ category. Trevor Lawrence, that's a big upset. A lot of people would put him in the GQ category. Personally, I don't see it. I mean, Harris cool, I guess, but eh. I would say Cam Newton is also above average.
Mm.
Zach Wilson, soon to be out of the league, above average. Kyler Murray, above average. Mitchell Trubisky, he could be an average, but I think it's a toss up. Derek Carr without a mullet. Um, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of this is subject to change.
Are you
And then
saying Derek Carr is more attractive without the mullet or less attractive?
I am saying he's more attractive without the mullet.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree.
If
The
he had the
mullet
mullet, he would be in the below average
below
category. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. All
yeah.
right, carry on.
And then in average, I put Matthew Stafford. I just think he's cute. Tua Tagovailoa, Andy Dalton when he doesn't have an undercut, Geno Smith and Marcus Mariota when he doesn't have like his like but weird shit. What's it called? It's not an undercut. I don't know what their style it's called. In the below
Mm,
average category, I would put Falcons Matt Ryan just because he's getting a little old now. He looks a bit like a senator.
yep.
No goatee Ryan Tannehill. I would put Aaron
Mm,
Rodgers as he is. See, Aaron Rodgers is difficult because for me, I would put him in the probably did not have a date to senior prom category. But I also know for a fact that like he's just not for my generation. Like if some people like the hippie, like beard, like long hair. It's
yeah.
weird. He almost looked like Hitler for a few games this year because of his haircut.
Yeah,
But
that was not a good look. I
yeah, but
don't
I'm not judging that one. But as a Jewish man, I like to be forgiving. But and then I put Nils, what's his name? Oh, Drew Lock. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He looks like Jesse from Breaking Bad. There's
Yeah,
not much there.
not much there.
And then in the second to worst category, which is probably didn't have a date to senior prom, I put Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ritter. This is the worst category, by the way. There is one more category, but this is
But
the
that's
worst one
monster. Yeah, yeah,
objectively.
the other one's
Yeah,
just like a
yeah,
monster. Yeah.
yeah. Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Teddy Bridgewater, David Mills. Um, oh, I don't.
Is that who is that?
That's Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
Jacoby
I'm
Brissett.
looking at Mike Glennon right now and Sam Howell. Sam Howell could be higher. I think he's basically Baker, but I think he's just like no.
Hmm.
I think he's still got a little bit of work to do. He's a rookie. Carson
Yeah.
Wentz is there. I think Carson Wentz might be the ugliest guy in the league. It's either him or Sam Darnold. And then Taylor Heineke. I think Heineke could be below average, but honestly, his forehead is staring me right in the face. And then
Yeah.
obviously the actual worst category, and it's not based off of looks. It could be, but it's not based off of looks. It's based off of just like I'm
It
the
yeah,
category says I'm not gonna say it, so I'm not gonna say it, and that's Ben Roethlisberger and Deshaun Watson.
that's
Um,
fair.
I don't think a lot has to be said, and obviously this is subject to change, but this is just like a personal project I've been working on. But let's get into it. All right,
Personal project I've been working on.
all right.
Oh my
Now, when it comes to
god.
Tariq Woolen versus Ahmad Sauce Gardner, two of the like highest profile defensive rookies we've seen recent years, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, this is just a personal argument we've been having, but I decided to look into it. And I'd love to just get your opinion on this in a second. Um, so let's look at Woolen's stats. Obviously, so he's playing almost 90% of total defensive snaps, which is really good, especially for a rookie. And he's getting about a 10% or 11% target rate, 14.6
Is this
yards.
after today, by the way?
No, these aren't
Okay,
refreshed for today.
yeah. So pre-week 17 stats.
Yep. So 14.6 average target distance. It just means that I mean their average target distance is almost identical. It just means that they're being thrown in theory the same distance for routes and stuff. So pretty similar routes that they're covering. Target separation 1.3 yards, 6.7 yards per target he gives up. He has 13 pass breakups this year. He's allowed 3 touchdowns. He allows 53.1% catch rate. When targeted, he allows a 92.6 passer rating, and for every target, he gives up 1.57 fantasy points. Just a brief overview. There's a
Mhm.
lot more stats right there that you can look at. Like, for example, he has 6 interceptions, which is really good. I think that's not leading the league, but it's up there.
It is
Um,
leading the league, or it's tied for
it
the
is
lead.
leading the league. Oh,
Yes.
all right. But there you go. So, those are just the main stats I wanted to just draw out. And then when you look at Gardner, he's playing about 7% less snaps, but he's being targeted about 4% more, which we'll look at it later. It's about 16. He has about 16 more targets than Woolen has. So that 14.5 makes up for the 81.
Hmm.
Average target distance 14.5. Again, it's basically identical. Target separation 1.5, 5.7 yards per target. He has 16 pass breakups, although today he has like 20.
Yeah,
He had a
yeah, a
really
lot.
big game.
Yep.
He's allowed one touchdown and 49.2% catches. When targeted, the passer rating of opposing quarterbacks is 71.3, and he allows 1.15 fantasy points per target. So when you look into the comparison of these two, obviously, Woolen is being more available. I can't tell you if that's because I haven't watched Seahawks or Jets games this year. I don't know if that does Woolen normally play in the slot, maybe?
No, he's mainly
Because
actually
he's a
kind
big
of.
guy.
Yeah, no. I actually I would say he's typically in the slot now that I think about
Okay,
it.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm just
Um,
thinking, sorry, really quick.
no, go for it. Yeah.
Like, I remember I was like, I was watching the Raiders game and it was Devontae Adams, right? And they
Mhm.
had Devontae running like on the one, the go, whatever
Yeah.
side a lot. And a lot of the times it was like our corner, Michael Jackson, on him. And holy shit, that guy got burnt. And I was like, why the
Yeah.
fuck
It's
is Tariq
Devontae.
Woolen not on him? I was like, this poor
Mhm.
man. I think he was. I think Michael Jackson's also a rookie.
Yeah,
He's that
I
or
think so.
young. So I was like, oh,
I think no, I'm thinking of Bryant
Kobe Bryant.
because you guys got Kobe Bryant. He was the Cincinnati rookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But so obviously I think it's kind of subjective, but I would say that being able to play in the slot also is a big boost for Woolen. Just because Gardner's almost always on the outside. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think I've
almost
seen
on
him
that
play
side.
slot. Um,
I didn't
and so
see him at
obviously,
all play slot. Sorry, I didn't see him play the
no,
slot
go
at
for
all
it.
today. I'm only going
Yeah.
off. Yeah, because I do not watch Jets games on my free time. So
Holy
uh,
shit, we only got 10 minutes. All right, I'll
it's
speed
fine.
through this, I guess.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
we'll
no.
we'll we'll
You're
run
gonna
through it.
record. Yeah, we're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Sorry, Zoom's being a bitch.
Yeah.
Um, again, average target distance is basically identical. Target separation one's looking a little bit better there. And then yards per target, Sauce is doing pretty good in terms of pass breakups.
Mm,
He's targeted more, to be fair, so it's a little biased, but pass breakups, Sauce is still there.
yeah.
TDs, it's definitely different with slot receivers because I think slot receivers are more often targeted in the red zone. He allows less of a catch rate, 20-point passer rating
That's a
difference,
big.
which
Yeah, it
is
is a big.
huge.
That is a big difference.
Um, but obviously, Woolen has more interceptions, so it really just depends on how you weigh things, I guess, is what I would
Mm.
say. Um, I personally still think Sauce is better, but you do you. Do you have any is there anything I missed, do you think? Like I don't know,
Uh,
why do you hold Woolen
what?
in such high
Okay.
regard, I guess?
Okay. Well. All right. Two different things. So I mean, obviously
No, of course.
Seahawks fan. So I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
of
like,
course.
and the dude was drafted in like the fifth round too.
Yeah.
That but I would also just say like I forgot. I think Tariq Woolen has a pick six or two pick sixes.
He
I
has one.
believe he's one. Okay,
Unless
and
he got one
then
today, which I
no,
didn't see.
he did not.
Okay.
And then I think they're also tied for forced fumbles, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think they both. I might be wrong about that.
Okay.
But and then the other big thing. So I mean that. And then a lot of times when I'm seeing like when we watch today, I'm just saying some of fucking Sauce Gardner's pass breakups are kind of etch a sketch. I mean, but that is also happens when he's guarding on the outside most of the time. Like
Hmm.
it's gonna get gnarly. But I don't
Yeah.
know. There's like one pass breakup was like, but I mean he fucking locked out DK today. So But I've also noticed DK does this thing where like when he first will match up against a like amazing corner, the dude is just fucking terrified. Like that used to be him with Jalen Ramsey, and then
Right.
now like now it's actually like a really even matchup. So
Hmm.
we'll see. And then I like the stats are short, like especially the passer rating that is a big thing. I
Hmm.
mean, but also he is mainly guarding on the outside, which is a big thing. Um, I do still think defense. This is clearly off me being a like whiny Seahawks fan.
Hey,
Um,
what isn't, right?
well, yeah, well, because like our defense, our pass rush is fucking horrendous. So like the quarterbacks that are going to be like Woolen has been having to guard for like a long ass time or out
Hmm.
there. While Sauce, like, I mean, I just know the Jets have like Quinn Williams, like their defense all around is just fucking studded. Um, so that's why when I see like these kind of minute, like small differences, like if it's this close, but like Tariq is having a guard out there with the quarterback having way more pocket time. This is me just going off like seeing off the eye. I don't know the specific stats of the Seahawks pass rush, but knowing that we like are the 32nd rushing defense, and then like it's just that's just gonna fucking happen. Our just D line sucks. Like we're probably gonna draft like Jalen Carter or something with our pick for this year,
Hmm.
unless for some reason the fucking I forget who has second overall. The Bears, unless the Bears maybe splash. I don't know what the Bears are gonna do. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, basically, and then what cemented it, I've told Isaac about this. But I like the rivalry, and then when fucking Sauce was crying because Tariq had more Pro Bowl votes for him, he was like, "Oh, I thought Jets fans are real ones," and is bitching the whole time. So after he just kept bitching about it, and how every fucking media thing has to talk about
Right.
Sauce or whatever. Then he eventually gets more Pro Bowl votes, and then he's like, "Oh, thanks everyone. I'm glad whoever I passed, whoever was ahead of me." And it's like, "Fucker, you know who exactly that is. Like, you guys are at like super high levels. I mean, but whatever. If you're a Sauce fan, that's fine. I'm just happy that it is really cool that this year, like the top two corners, arguably top two best corners in the NFL are rookies, which is kind of nuts. I mean, it's also just a big thing with the NFL this year where like defense had such a big comeback. I
Yeah.
don't really know why. I like this version of NFL way more.
Hmm.
I got so sick of like, oh, it's all just about scoring, scoring, scoring. Um, I don't know like necessarily what impacted or like what caused that change. I don't know. I
Hmm.
mean, do you have a take on that at all of like this season of why it's become so much more? Because yeah, I saw something where it's like it's been 5 years since was I think it's like just total points scored in general
Hmm.
since the last 5 years. It's like been so low. But
Yeah, I got nothing on that.
yeah.
All
So
right. Good talk. I think that's all I
yeah.
got. Anyway, as I was saying, good talk, Nils. Let's get into the actual list now.
All
Uh,
right. Music.
yeah, so music, very quick disclaimer. I can be the first one to say it. I did not grow up like cultured or anything. Like I think I started listening to music in eighth grade and it was mainly EDM, so I don't talk about it. Um, but so a lot of just more recently I've just been discovering like a lot of old music and stuff. So I don't really have a lot of I have like maybe two songs from 2022 on the list. And it's very unorganized, as I'll show you. But just generally speaking, it's a lot of rock, punk rock especially. Like Rage
Isaac,
Against
this
the
is
Machine is
way more than three.
it's a little more than three.
Holy
Um,
fuck. Oh my. All right. Keep just do your
yeah.
thing.
No, it's just, I just thought these are like some of the
All
artists and
right.
songs I really enjoyed this year.
That's fine.
Punk rock was probably the most popular genre for me. Just had a great time. That is more than three though. So let's go into games,
Oh, wait,
right?
whoa, 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 whoa. I
Yeah.
think let's like go by music altogether,
Oh,
right?
bet.
We'll
Okay,
take
yeah, go for it.
yeah, yeah,
What do
yeah.
you got?
Okay. And then big yeah, big to so like same thing for me. I'm awful at listening to new music. I'm fucking dog shit at it. So with how I chose my top three for each category, for music, none of the songs came out this year. The newest song on in my top three is a 2021 song. And then for video games, it's kind of a mix of both, right? Because I'd say I play a good amount of new games, but then also I just, like to play all games. And then movies, I can do top three that came out this year because that's just easy. But I don't know, I might do top five. I don't know how much stuff Isaac's been putting on these lists after seeing the
I know. I
music
got
list.
it's the night the for games and movies. It's just three each.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I'll just for the sake of it, I'll just do music. All right. So number three for me is Ballin' by Queen Chama, 2021. Um, just a really fun rap song. Aaliyah showed me it. I've kind of ruined the song for her because I loved it so much. I so it's so good. It was a YouTuber that did it. It's her only song. If you look up Queen
Wow.
Chama on Apple Music, it's the only song on there. But it's instantly better than any Kendrick Lamar,
Really?
anything you see in the rap game today. It's so good. It grows on you so much. There's so many good bars
Okay.
in it. So yeah, I realize the sections are not this greatest because we like. I feel like the main thing about songs is the person's like, oh, I'll listen to it, but and I'm not really well versed in discussing music, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
fair enough.
My number two song is the girl in Biakoya. It's the main song from Paprika,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
which is the guy it is made by the same guy that did Tokyo Godfathers. So I don't know. The song really grows on me. It's like super melancholic, but also like super hopeful. It's really weird. The guy who made the song also made a lot of music for the old Berserk TV show, which I was like, whoa. So and I don't know. I can't place a like label on the genre. I'm not even trying to
Fair.
be pretentious. Like when you listen to, it, you're like, I don't know what the fuck you could label this as. So really like the song. Listen to a lot of that in like spring. So it's just kind of a perfect time when it's just like you're kind of getting sick of the cold weather in
Hmm.
Seattle.
Yeah, of course.
Like I don't know. And every time I listen to it, it elicits. It gives me the same feeling I get watching the movie itself or whatever. So that's for me. And obviously, we already know what number one is. Out Here Grinding by DJ Khaled. Holy fuck. That is such a good song. I don't know how I've lived 21 years. Well, my bad. The song came out like 2009. So like 13 years. Well, oh, 14. Fuck me or whatever. But God, that song is so good. I've listened to it so much at the gym. Um, Isaac, I'm sure you know. I mean,
I
my
do. Yeah.
dedicated Snapchat
Yeah.
private stories out here grinding.
Mhm.
Um, so good. I don't even know. Besides Rick Ross, I don't know any of the people that are rapping in it. It's just a good old jam. So
Good.
yeah.
That's great, right?
All right, Isaac. What was the next one you took? Was it games or movies?
My next one is games. And
All
again, like
right.
disclaimer, I think one of my games, technically two, but one of my games is from 2022. It was really a slow year for gaming, at least for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, you'll see, you'll see.
All right.
All right,
Let's
let's
see
get
it.
back into it. All right, so let's talk. Why is this going so slow, God?
It's okay.
Um, all right,
Oh, there we
games.
go.
There we go.
Games.
Yes, yes. Switched up the theme a little.
Ooh,
So
orange.
worst game of the year so far. I can tell you this very confidently. It's Marvel's Midnight Suns. Literally, like I cannot believe I spent seven. I am saying this as possibly, and Nils can back me up. Like XCOM's biggest fan. Fire Axis. I love the studio, but they fucked up. All right. Like all the creativity that made all of their storied franchises, mainly XCOM, great. They just threw out the window. and they slapped a Marvel name tag on it, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Marvel," right? I can tell you, it is possibly the most cringe and downright depressing game I have ever played. It's not even meant to be depressing. It's just sad, like how they maybe tried. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
just bad, just all around. I mean, the gameplay is smooth. That is the best part.
Mm,
Visuals are okay, and it's just not. It's this
mm.
is like if you made Fire Emblem Three Houses, but you cut down the story and you cut out the character development, and then you cut out like all the fun stuff, and you replaced it with a like a Magic the Gathering ripoff, um, and you made a fighting game out of it. So
Oof.
really bad. I would not recommend spending money on it. You could probably buy it for $12 in like 6 months on
Yeah.
any store. It'll be on sale because it's shitty. Um, fuck Marvel, fuck Midnight Suns, terrible time. Anyway, number three, Wordle. This is the only actual game on this list that came out this year that I played. It took over the
Oh,
world. It at least
awesome.
deserves a mention, right?
Yeah.
Um, there was like a good month, maybe a month and a half, where everything anyone would start a conversation with was, "Hey, did you do the Wordle today?" And that's it. It took over the world. People still do it sometimes. It deserves a mention at least. It was so popular, the New
Oh,
York Times bought it.
God, you made my parents so happy. And they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Wordle."
No, Wordle's great. Wordle's great.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like the perfect game. There's nothing wrong with it. It just gets old because it's just a game. You play it a lot,
Yeah.
right?
That's a
Um,
good that's a good pick though. That's a
Yeah,
good
thank
game.
you. The other two picks aren't from 2022, but you'll like this next one.
Oh, wait. Before you do, should I do my number three and then
Yeah,
you
go
do
for it.
number
Yeah,
two and
sure.
number two? Just it. All right, sounds good. So my number three, I had a tough time with this one. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna say my quick fuck. Okay. Number three, Sifu. Came out in February, fighting game. It's so good. It's kind of short, but it's one of those short but sweet. It's so challenging.
Hmm.
Where basically a basic premise, it's a martial arts game, taking a lot of influences from other like martial art movies. And there's like six main levels, and it's just like a classic revenge story. But you start at the age of 20, and every time you die, you go up in age. And so the goal of the game is you're trying to beat all like the whole video game and kill all like six of the bosses before you die of old age. Otherwise, you restart the whole game. So it really pushes you into just to mastering the controls. The fucking gameplay feels so good.
Hmm.
It's a perfect amount of challenging. It's not Elden Ring where it makes you want to shoot yourself. Challenging. It's not like that. Um, but yeah, it was probably one of the more challenging games I played this year. And like the way you can, it's just so good. It's so rewarding. And yeah, that gameplay mechanic. And the big thing is too, is as you get older, you do more damage, but you have less health. So it really just encourages you just to like master everything. And it's like $30. It's such a like worth it for your money game. Um, I think if it didn't only come out on PlayStation, a lot more people would be talking about it. I think it's coming out on everything soon.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, definitely my number three. Loved it.
No, always good to hear. I still haven't beaten it, you know. I really need to. I need to stop buying Marvel Midnight Suns, and I gotta beat Sifu.
uh, all right.
But all right,
Let's
back
see what
to
your
it.
number two is.
Yeah, and again, like it was a slow year for gaming for me. I didn't like, Elden Ring is a big one that I'm sure a lot of people will say is, really good because I'm sure it was. I never played it. Um, I really want to, but I just have too much right now.
Yeah,
But
it's way
I
too
think
long.
you'll be happy to hear this because for the first time in my life, I spent this summer playing playing the Uncharted series. You know,
Oh, here
Naughty
we
Dog's need it is their premier
go.
franchise. Because I don't think they're continuing The Last of Us. I think if they made two more of that, they would have. But
Yep.
it's like it inspired the Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg masterpiece movie that came out this year. Um, if you like treasure hunting and you like fun things, you'll love it. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's just a great franchise. Thank you, Nils, for encouraging me to play it. Had a good time with it. Had a good time with it.
Yeah, and you played it like around summertime, right?
Yeah,
Ish.
I played it all throughout the summer.
Yeah, it's like a good, just fun summer. Like they're pretty breezy games. They're all like 10 hours each,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like
not like a huge again, it's not like it's not even close to as difficult as Dark Souls, obviously, but
no,
it's not difficult. It's just you lay back, you have some fun. It's just fun. That's it.
yeah, no. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I will if one day repay that favor, and I'll Cyberpunk. This will be my year. I finally play it. This
Yeah,
will
we'll
be my
see.
year. So my number two, I was really debating, but I gotta just. This is the one where since I gotta mix it out a little bit. This is my
Yeah,
one non 2022 game,
go for it.
but
Yeah.
it basically fucking was Mario Kart 8. Holy shit! This game I had to make sure I like do like an indie game, or I don't know if Sifu's an indie game because it's like Nintendo doesn't really like Mario Kart 8 selling so well. But like if you're like me, I think there's a lot of people like me where they have Mario Kart 8, right? They have a good time, they
Hmm.
might play when their friends are over. But if you're already paying like the Nintendo Switch Online is like $20 a year, like really it's not that much at all. And the online works. It is one of the most fun, addicting online experiences of just doing Mario Kart 8 online. You just get into this loop. And now that they've been adding all this DLC where you get 48 tracks for $20,
Hmm.
like it's pretty much a steal. So yeah, I just didn't realize this is the most I've ever played Mario Kart 8. And it's just fun because it's not like a huge time commitment. It's like you can just do one race and then just go.
Yeah, of course.
And then another big thing on Mario Kart 8 is I did the time trial mode, like when I was flying to Arizona. And holy shit, time trial mode alone, that's where it's just you. There's no other people, and you have three mushrooms, and you're just trying to get the best time you can.
Yeah.
And you can race against like the ghosts that Nintendo staffers have made. And so pretty fun.
No, it
So yeah.
sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think that's a great game to have.
All right, Isaac. What's that number one?
You know, I think you could see it coming from a long, long ways away if you've known me at all. Um, I will say it seems like a shameful plug, but I will say this was the this year for the first time in my life I 100% at a game. And it feels good. You just brought it up actually. It's gotta be Cyberpunk.
Hell
It's my
yeah.
favorite game. I finally 100% at it over the summer for the first time. Um, or over Thanksgiving, I think. Yeah, I think I finished it over Thanksgiving. But just everything about it, I could talk for you know me. I do talk about it for hours and hours, and it gets fucking annoying. But it's just great. It has the
It doesn't
best
get annoying,
original
Isaac. Don't
soundtrack.
worry.
Hey, 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 not yet. It's always yet, Nils. It has the best original soundtrack I've ever heard. They basically just hired a bunch of bands to come in and be like, yeah, you're gonna fucking write some heat right now. And then they brought in Keanu Reeves to sing it. And it's great. Everything about it. My favorite genre of fiction is sci-fi. My favorite subgenre of sci-fi is cyberpunk. It perfectly encapsulates the world. It's beautiful. It's like my favorite type of game. It's an RPG, where like gameplay might take a bit of a step back, but the story is really what's important. Just awesome. And obviously it came out in 2020. I played it on a PlayStation with a broken graphics processing unit, which meant the game crashed every 25 to 30 minutes. I did two playthroughs then. I've done four complete playthroughs, all of them corpo, because that's the best one. And I can tell you, it's just the best. There's nothing better than it. But
Ah,
I can proudly say that that's my number one game this year, and it probably will be my number one game ever.
yeah. It'll be your number one game for the rest of your life for sure.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm glad that the game turned up like really, and they've been updating it, right? So like it
Yeah.
works
And
more.
they have a DLC dropping next year. So, I get to actually do more.
Oh man, yeah, I'm excited. I will like I could go back to Elden Ring, but I'm gonna do Cyberpunk now. I'm not going back in Elden Ring, so I'm done with
Oh, if you
that.
say so.
So I got to beat my hiking game first. It's my cute little 3 hour hiking game.
Hmm.
That'll be first.
Yeah.
Well, my number one, Isaac probably already knows it. But easily God of War Ragnarok. God damn, what a fucking
Waiting for this one.
game. Holy shit. I mean, I already loved God of War 2018, but that's its own little thing. There's a lot of parts I actually like more about God of War 2018, but
Hmm.
they just made it. They expanded so much the gameplay. It's made like they just added so much to it. The story is a bit less contained, but it's still an amazing story. It's so fucking sad. But I mean, it's not like doomer, but it's more just it's beautiful. The acting is once again so fucking good. The music's so good. Doing Norse mythology is like so genius, and just with how they did it for these two
Hmm.
games, it's so clear. Like I don't know how they wouldn't like. It's clear that they planned this franchise to be two games in a way because it's just like it works. Doesn't need to be anymore. It just works so well because it's like Kratos in these new games is much older, so he's a lot more vulnerable. But like that's the whole other thing is like Norse mythology is way less OP
Yeah.
than Greek mythology. So every character you know is vulnerable in some way. Like you just get Thor in this, you get Odin. It's so fucking sick. And they actually like I don't know, but it's got me reading about Norse mythology now. Um, it's just awesome. I am so happy they like lived up to the hype and they also did that thing where I'm impressed with how much they are able to withhold from the trailers because there are so many big things that they add to this game. They're like, wow, who would have thought? So yeah, God of War Ragnarok. I will say it's probably still important to beat the first game, and they're kind of long games. I don't know, but yeah, it's just so fucking good. And they like all the problems I had with the first game, they fixed and did so well. So, um, yeah, I mean, in that game, it took me like 30-ish hours to beat, but it felt like that. And I'm typically not really willing to invest that much time into a single player game. So,
And there you
so
go.
happy to beat it. Oh, and last thing I'll say is most of the times I will get a single player game. I play like 5 to 6 hours of it. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. And then I don't touch it for like 6 months to a year.
Hmm.
This game I beat within like a month and a half of it coming out.
Right.
If that's saying something. So yeah.
Wow.
Woo!
Do you think that they're ever gonna make a sequel and expand into Western mythology? I just want to see Jesus get
I
spiked again, you know?
know. I don't want to spoil the end of the second one. So I'll say I wish I want to see like fucking like Kratos fight like some form. I don't know. I probably him saying like me saying Kratos fighting Jesus is we're gonna get like the video taken down on YouTube. I don't know. Um, but I mean you could do like you could always they could always do a like Eastern
Yeah.
mythology. The
That
only thing
probably
I
has more
know
mythology, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the only thing I know is like the Monkey King.
Yeah.
So, let's see Kratos fight the Monkey King. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah,
I cannot imagine that.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
see.
right, movie time. I like how this
Yeah.
is a movie podcast, but
It's
well,
it's a
even
media podcast. It's a media podcast at this point.
yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go right into it, you know. I think my first one's gonna be a bit of a surprise. These are all from 2022, by the way. Because again, we are a movie podcast, so we watched a lot of movies. So third for me personally, I loved Prey. Prey was like
Mm.
it was so great for me to see. I grew up as such a big Predator, the movie franchise fan. Um, and it was really great to see finally just in both objectively and subjectively just really good and strong film. Obviously Predators, there was oh God, I think it was The Predator that came out a few years ago. Just weak movies. But this one really good, amazing. I'm a big objectivity guy. It was shot well, the effects were great, acting was great. Like for a sci-fi horror movie, I would say this probably had the best cinematography I have seen. And that really just went the extra mile for me. I thought it was a great way to revitalize the franchise, and I'm very excited to see where they go.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was really it was such a nice like perfect little surprise
Yeah.
for the summer. I mean,
Hmm.
because it came on Hulu and yeah, I mean, because oh yeah, it was really smart because I had no like really big hype for the movie, but
Hmm.
then I kind of heard some good things about it, and I was glad I watched it. Especially like that final action set piece is so
Oh
good.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
man, yeah, no, that was a good time. I'm glad I watched that.
No, me too. It was great.
Let's see. All right, my number three, if I can remember. Okay, is RRR. I think Zach's favorite movie of the
Yeah,
year.
definitely.
Really, really fun time. It's a long movie, but man, if you just want like over the top action and just something, I don't know, if you want to see like Fast and Furious logic and action, but set within like a anti-colonialism landscape, which I don't know if we're ever gonna see in like American Hollywood.
No, we won't.
I don't know. It's just a really
No.
fun like it's so refreshing. Like so many movies that handle colonialism are either like artsy fucking A24 movies, which are good, or it's like these pandering Oscar baity Hollywood movies where it's like, oh, it's super serious
Right.
and dramatic or whatever. Like I don't know. I saw like that Will Smith Emancipation Apple
Hmm.
show, or like if that was clearly planned to be an Oscar thing, but then Will Smith just had to kind of fumble. I don't know if it's a show or a movie.
I think
So
it's a
I
movie.
is that okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's just like it's refreshing, because I'm a white guy. It's totally, what my opinion matters most about colonialism movies. But um no, I think it's really nice to see just like something about anti-colonialism that isn't just this over the top serious. I mean, it is a serious, don't get me wrong, super serious matter, but there's a lot more ways to do it. Um, where you're still, it's for a good cause, but it's just really fun. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, well
that's
said.
that's my gist of it. But yeah.
Really well said. I thought that was, yeah. I think that what you're saying definitely makes sense. Like, obviously, colonialism is a super serious subject, and I
Mm,
think that the way they didn't like it, it's just the absurdity of the movie itself kind of overshadowed it a
yeah.
bit, which put it in a different light than you would see in most media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Let's see what I got. So second. All right. So, for movies, I actually decided to go a little bit with a different direction for number two. I did a
mm.
TV series
Oh yeah, yeah.
that I
This is
just
good.
saw. Yeah. So for me, my second favorite thing that came out this year was a show on Netflix called 1899. It was by the people who made Dark, if you're familiar with it. I'd never seen it, so I didn't know what to expect. It's basically about a haunted boat. Really fun. It just really this is like it's I think eight episodes. It's either 6 or 8 episodes. They're about an hour each. I watched it in one day. Really just
Damn.
it's a really great story. Everything like the costume design, the score, the effects, acting, really everything about it was just perfect. It was perfect casting. There was nothing negative about it that I could put my finger on. It's just great. I can't say any more without revealing anything. I just had a great
Mm,
time. I love the aesthetics. Like it takes place during like the big like coal revolutions, like ships like it takes place on a ship like the Titanic, for example.
mm.
So big coal engines, really cool to watch, really gloomy, really fun. Just had a great time with it. But so
Can
I would say that was my second favorite not movie, but just like visual media
mm.
all year.
Can
And
you?
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Really quick, can you? I saw as one of your points. It said Danish sounding soundtrack. Can you elaborate
Danish
on
sounding
that?
soundtrack.
Did I
Oh
misread?
yeah. No, fuck. Oh God. No, I had a bit lined up for this that I forgot. Um, no, so do you remember when we watched All Quiet on the Western Front?
Yeah.
You remember how just like
Oh,
out of nowhere sometimes it would like
yeah.
do a really loud like synth noise? Like a
Yeah.
like it's the same thing.
Okay. All right, I get it now. It's just like
Yeah.
what? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean, From what I've
I don't know if
heard,
it's Danish, but I
no,
don't know.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
I don't know,
that's
man.
no, I
But
like
that's what
that.
I meant.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I've been very tempted to watch the show. I
It's a
almost
great one.
watched it
It
for
is a
winter break,
great show.
but God of War had to happen, so that was
Fair
the only
enough.
thing keeping me
Fair
from it.
enough.
But
Yeah. No,
one
it's a
day.
great show.
So, all right. My number two is oh yeah, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery.
All
Um,
right. Okay.
so I've noticed a trend. I'm not like this year I like kind of ranked a lot of my movies. Most of them, the ones I put at the top are comedies. I don't know
Sure.
if it's just I've become more of a comedy person in terms of just my taste, or if that's just what like really likes me. Eventually, ending up loving a film
Hmm.
is just if it's a comedy. Um, that being said, like I don't know how true that is because like on Letterbox, only two of the four are comedies, where
Right.
like Shrek 2 and Porco Rosso. But then I have like Whiplash and Perfect Blue. So I don't know if those are really comedies. But
Mhm.
anyways, basically, I mean I really like Knives Out, but I don't know. I didn't think it was like how do I say it? I still think it was a really, really good movie, but I didn't like love it as much
Okay.
as a lot of people did. But I still was like, oh, it like all the characters look so good. It's really funny. But I was like, the mystery itself, at least for me, was like kind of right?
Mhm.
But Isaac, have you watched the Glass Onion yet?
I haven't. No.
Okay, all right. Well, but yeah, I mean, I also like this time I think it's clear that Ryan Johnson because he still want he I think he still want to do more of a mystery in this one.
Right.
So you get just a really fun, compelling mystery with a really solid twist. I find it really funny. It looks so fucking good. Like the costumes, even the people that are like, I like the first one more or whatever, which is fine, but they're like they're clearly doing it for attention. Whatever. They can't deny that the fucking costuming is so good in this movie.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I really liked it. It's just a fun comedy. I also like saw this in theaters like a couple weeks before it got onto Netflix, and I was
Oh,
just
okay.
if you're just I think it's one of those type of things when you're watching like a really well written fun comedy with other people that aren't laughing at like a well he's right behind me isn't he or whatever. I got so sick of that. So you
Hmm.
finally have like a normal people like with good theater etiquette just
Yeah.
laughing. It's just such a good time. So I don't know if it's really the second best movie I saw this year, but that movie experience was just so magical watching it. That it's for me, it's the second one.
Yeah, there you go. I think it is about the experience. I think that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
And I saw that
So,
I haven't seen it, but I've seen that Among Us is in it. And I just want to
oh
say I think
yeah,
it's gonna I think you made a good choice, Nils.
yeah. That I think honestly that Among Us scene definitely had a huge impact on my placement for this. I also just
Yeah.
fucking love Daniel Craig. It's
Yeah,
just
fair enough, right?
I love that guy. I don't know if he has like any controversies. I hope to God he doesn't
I don't think he
or
does.
like
I think he's
scandals.
pretty
Yeah.
unproblematic from what
Because
I hear.
I grew up
Let's
loving
find out.
yeah, let's I grew up fucking loving Casino Royale. Like that was one of my favorite action movies. I
Yeah.
love the soundtrack, like fucking Chris Cornell banging it on that. So I don't know. It's just you can just feel like you can it's so infectious that Daniel Craig is having such a good time. I love that character. But oh god, you find anything?
I found two things. All right, so the first one I think is just tabloid and I don't think it's real, but apparently there's a cheating scandal. Oh, this is from January of 2022, so it's definitely not true. So never mind.
Okay.
Um, or maybe it was true. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Apparently he cheated on someone with Anna de Armas, so I can't blame him. But it was a year ago. It was January 10th,
Yeah.
2022. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it wasn't
Mhm.
confirmed. Um, but on October 14th of 2021, he said that he goes to gay bars to avoid fights at straight bars. And that's not problematic. So he's good in my book. Yeah.
I wait. I actually remember. Why do I remember something like that? Like, there's something with Daniel Craig and like gay bars. Oh, awesome.
But yeah,
Well,
so pretty unproblematic. He's a good person to like in Hollywood.
yeah, awesome. All right, Isaac. What is
We at
your
it.
number one?
Yeah, you can tell I've been waiting for this one, and also you also can probably tell that it is the least surprising thing like ever. Um, so for number
Uh,
one in terms of movies, I put again my favorite movie of the year, best experience of the year, one of my favorite movies of all time, Bullet Train. It's perfect. It's just the best movie. You know me. I was raving about this movie the moment a trailer came out and no hype was behind it. I've been a ride or die since day zero and I'm still fucking here. This is just the best. This is possibly like one of the most fun movies I've ever seen. It might be the most fun movie I've ever seen. Um, it's perfect. It's again, it's a bottom bullet point. Oh, we got 10 minutes in the meeting. That's fine though.
we got
It is
time.
absurdly
Yeah.
perfect. This is like just extravagant. It's great. It's down a bullet train in Japan. It goes all over Japan, like according to the route. It has vibrant environments. It's again really fun. The action is super engaging, but it doesn't at all take away from the story. It's unpredictable. There's a lot of different plot lines that converge. Uh, and it's definitely not a linear story. There's a lot of flashbacks and there's a lot of context to be given. There's characters that don't really get a lot of screen time. Uh, and they just leave huge imprints on just like what your whole vision for the movie is. Obviously, is it lemon and tangerine? I think it's lemon and tangerine.
Yeah.
Um, those two best characters in the whole film. Brad Pitt wears a bucket hat. It's in to it's yeah, it's just perfect. All right, it's fucking perfect. Um, the absurdity really just lends a hand to it. The cameos are really fun. Spoiler alert, I hate Ryan Reynolds, but God, I absolutely loved his cameo because it was literally just him there for about 5 seconds. Best part of the movie was just like the entire. It's just so absurd, and I just really loved the chaos of it. And I can very proudly say this is one of my top probably three movies of all time. It was just perfect, Nils. It was perfect, man.
Oh my. Oh, all right. I mean, I'll
Perfect.
say I am both so unsurprised or whatever, but how the fuck did I not see this coming at the same
Yeah,
time?
I don't know how you
Oh my
didn't though.
God.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's
Damn.
I would say that was it. And while no, yeah, that's all I have to say on it. Love that movie. Nothing can beat it in my eyes. That is like daddy's favorite. Uh, just loved it. Can't can't say anything else about it. If you
Well,
haven't watched it, fucking watch it.
it,
Best
it's on
movie.
Netflix now.
It is on
So,
Netflix. That was a
yeah.
really big surprise that went on Netflix too.
Yeah. So, God, I mean, I think as if you watched the earlier Stickscast movie, it wasn't necessarily for me, but Isaac, you're being true to yourself. I respect it because that would it makes sense. I mean,
That's just the Isaac movie. That's
yeah,
it. That is
it
the
truly
Isaac
is.
movie.
If you really just if you want that experience of being able to like sit down with Isaac and watch a movie, just put that on Netflix. I think that's the closest you'll get without Isaac being there in person.
Hmm.
And I will say, I do agree with you though that Ryan Reynolds cameo. I think we have the same opinion of Ryan Reynolds, but the cameo is
Yeah,
kind of funny. It just works because
it's
he's
fun.
literally barely in it. And he doesn't say anything.
Hmm.
So it's actually kind of funny that way because then it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
um,
Hmm.
no, why I'm sorry, I'm still in shock from the number one pick, but
Yeah, it's weird. I can't believe you didn't see that coming, Nils.
I don't know
But
how I didn't see
power
it.
to you.
I don't know how I didn't see it. But damn. Well, Isaac, I guess I'll say my number one. It's really anticlimactic because I decided it being my movie of the year back in fucking March or April.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Holy shit, what a movie. I've only seen it twice this year. Um, I'll get the negatives out of the way. It is a little bloated, just a tiny bit. Does it take a little too long to end? Sure. But holy fuck, this movie is so good. It's on such a limited budget, but like you wouldn't even know it. The effects are so good. It's so funny. Anyone can fucking like relate or like the messaging of it. The action scenes are hilarious. Like if this is a laugh out loud comedy, so fucking good. Um But Isaac, did you watch this movie?
I didn't. No, I still really want to.
Wow.
I
Oh,
know,
damn.
right? Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's just like, especially, I just think, I don't know. It's just really funny. The costuming is so good. Like, and there's some like the father. There's some performances in this are so strong. The lead, I forget her name. I should know it. Like, it's such a great performance. Just about, and you have like the father husband character. The only other movie he was in before this was like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and he's short round, and he was able to fucking come out of nowhere
Yeah.
and put off one of the most like just emotional performances ever. Um, just a great time, great action, great comedy, and great stuff to think about. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could like dislike this movie. It's so good that it's getting so much Oscar buzz, and the fucking came out in March.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get anything fucking nominated for the Oscars, I don't know what America will be.
The
Maybe
Academy
I
Awards are
will.
a joke, to be fair.
They are a joke of but goddamn, at least give like the supporting actor nom or something. Yeah, they don't matter, but they also I just want to see it. But yeah,
Why not,
I
right?
just God, yeah, I really like it, Isaac. I hope you at some point get to watch it. I don't
I
know
will
what.
soon. I think I'm probably gonna watch it within the next week.
Gotcha. And if my predictions are correct, that it will get Oscar noms. I know we will be doing an Oscar Stickscast podcast,
We will.
so that might be in your homework.
Should we stream that? I mean,
Oh
when
yeah.
are the Oscars?
Oh, those are like end of March. So,
Ah, shit, maybe not then. We'll see. We'll see.
oh, we're gonna do them. We have to.
Oh yeah,
We
no,
have
we
to.
will do them. We just got to figure out
Yeah.
how.
Yeah. So, anyways, those are my top three. It's mainly comedies. I don't know. The even like my fourth was the comedy. No, my fourth was Northman, and that's when it
Oh,
kind of
okay.
changes. But there's something about comedies this year. I don't know if it's just like a change in just my mental state that I seek just a lot more escapism from comedies.
Mhm.
I don't know. Did you notice any trend with your top three, Isaac? I'm trying to think.
Not really. No, not really. Just
Yeah.
new stuff, right?
Well, yeah.
But
Well, damn.
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
I have
Isaac.
one last thing. I do have one last thing I want to mention.
Yeah.
I've almost forgot, but I have one last thing I want to mention.
Oh shit.
All
Oh
right,
shit.
let's see. Sorry, my Zoom is being telling me to pay money to that. All right. Last but least, Lyle Crocodile was the worst movie I saw all year, and I saw that shit in theaters. I should be put on a watch list. You should be put on a watch
I
list for
should, yeah.
making me, and we deserve really, just really bad things to happen to
Yeah.
us. But yeah,
And wait, keep that slide on there because I think this slide really encapsulates 2022.
yeah,
It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. And I think that's what we can learn from this year, right? There can be dangerous things in the jungle, right? You got anacondas, you got venomous or poison ants, right? But the great thing about the jungle is no matter how thick or dense it is, you might have your Lyle crocodiles. You might have your Marvel's Midnight Suns. But just on the other side, you have your bullet train. You
exactly.
have your everything everywhere at once. I'll say it, you might have your cyberpunk just down a couple trees. But that's the thing. That's the jungle for you. You just got to keep trudging through. And I think that's a good thing to live on for our next year coming up, right, Isaac?
Exactly. I amen to that.
Amen. And with that, I think we're ready to go to a new year.
Yep. Can we
Well,
become a Christian podcast?